With the introduction of computers on the internet in this digital age, most of us have access to various information and platforms, including cyberspace. So as we act in cyberspace, we create a different persona that we use in interaction and communication online through cyberspace or social media. So this persona that we use online is called the digital self. But what exactly mean by digital self? The digital self is our extended self in a digital world. So it means that it is the persona you use when you are online, a mask that we put on to engage the technological world. So it is defined by what individual shares or how they present themselves online or using social media. So what is social media? Social media refers to computer-based technology that facilitates the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through virtual networks and communities. It allows users to have conversations, share information, and create web content. There are many forms of social media, including the blogs, microblogs, wikis, social networking site, photo sharing site, instant messaging, video sharing sites, podcasts, widgets, or virtual world, and many more. Website and application that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Or simply we can just post pictures, thoughts, and even information is what we call social media. As to cyberspace, cyberspace refers to the virtual computer world or specifically an electronic medium that is used to facilitate online communication. Cyberspace typically involves a large computer network made up of many worldwide computer subnetworks. The definition of cyberspace is the environment of the internet. An example of cyberspace is home of Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The device we have, the media that we consume, the people we follow, and how we portray ourselves online are all part of digital self. The information we have online, including unintentional left data, known as data shadows, serve as our digital identity. Digital self is like an RPH, role-playing games, where you get to create your avatar and use characters as an expression of who you are. So what you want others to perceive and how you want to portray yourself. Online disembodiment. People are less likely to reveal their true self. Try to think why. So this is the idea that once the user is online, the need for the body is no longer required and the user can participate separately from it. So this ultimately relates to a sense of detachment from the identity defined by the physical body. Donald Winnicott proposed a theory of self that posited that there is a true self and a false self. According to his theory, the true self is the instinctive core of the personality and must be nurtured and realized. Then, there is a false self that is to protect the true self from insulting danger. So online disembodiment. People are less likely to reveal their true self. Try to think why. So this is the idea that once the user is online, the need for the body is no longer required and the user can participate separately from it. So this ultimately relates to a sense of detachment from the identity defined by the physical body. Donald Winnicott proposed a theory of self that posited that there is a true self and a false self. According to his theory, the true self is the instinctive core of the personality and must be nurtured and realized. Then, there is a false self that is to protect the true self from insulting danger. A factor that allows individuals to create a diverse image of themselves online is online disinhibition. So online disinhibition refers to the lowering of social restriction and inhibition in an online environment. So the online disinhibition effect is lack of restraint one feels when communicating online in comparison to communicating in a person. So people feel safer saying things online which they would not say in real life because they have the ability to remain completely anonymous and invisible behind the computer scene. Nine inhibition is when individual uses a persona online that seeks to express their full potential. An attempt to understand and explore oneself, works through problems, and find new ways of being. In short, it describes behavior in which people might self-disclose more on the internet than they would in real life, or go out of their way to help someone or show kindness. Toxic inhibition. Using a persona that engage in toxic behaviors or activities online. This includes rude language, threats, There are 5 ways of how people present themselves. First is self-promotion. It is characterized by wanting to be perceived as more capable, smart, and skilled person than others. So this self-presentation purposely tries to present oneself as highly competent to other people. Ingratiation. Ingratiation is when individuals do actions to gain others' attention to be liked by others. So people who present themselves in this manner tend to use filters to make themselves more beautiful or show only good happenings in their life. For instance, ingratiation happens when we try to get others to be like us with flattery, praise, just generally trying to be likable. Exemplification or act of portraying oneself to have moral worthiness. So it is a self-presentation strategy where individuals project themselves an image of integrity or moral worthiness. So the self-presentation typically leads to showing others that they are lesser or not good enough. For example, when you assert that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player, you may cite his number of championships or career points per game. Intimidation. It is presenting oneself as scary or intimidating. So this self-presentation typically aims to acquire social power by expressing themselves as a threat that induces fearfulness to others. Supplication. Supplication is an act of expressing oneself but only sharing misfortunes of life misery to depict oneself as weak, needy, or dependent on others. Some use this purposely to gain sympathy from others. So how many hours do you use the internet per day? So the average daily time spent using the internet among surveyed respondents in the Philippines was approximately 10.6 hours according to data portal. So in addition, the surveyed respondent spent approximately 4.15 hours on social media. In this technological age, the digital self has become a frequent visitor of the couch. Some couples have become divorced over Facebook affairs, couples that have wound up, happily married who met through Match.com or any dating sites, adolescents who became suicidal due to cyberbullying, single mom now with the flexibility to work at home, and the embarrassing consequences of texting, or also known as drunk texting. So try to think on how technology affects you, your personality, your life, and the people around you.